So The Attic is memoir-driven, a show that I'm building sort of around some of my own stories and memories, and kind of trying to put that into this show. Using the premise, I grew up in an attic bedroom. I had a childhood attic bedroom, and then even returned to sleep in that same attic bedroom many, many times in adulthood, and wrote a piece recently, sort of a tool for memoiring called Things I've Seen While Lying on My Back. And from, so with memories sort of floating in and out of this attic room, just in the sunlight, when I was an infant, my earliest memory, or later. The attic room being the same place, first kisses and attic bedroom, and imagining myself swinging on the rafters, to then later becoming a trapeze artist and sometimes lying on a stage and looking up at a trapeze, to then later, and now in older age, having a certain medical situation that involves, being in different types of equipment over me. And sort of using this idea of things I've seen while lying on my back as a tool, as a device to sort of go through these different memories of my life, and using the attic bedroom as the kind of casing for this whole thing, as the envelope that these memories will come in and out of. The premise is an older woman who is, ill and bedridden in her childhood attic bedroom. And the memories float in and out, and I like to think of it as where the wild things are for grown-ups. And keeping a little bit this notion of the things I've seen while lying on my back, which not only explores this horizontal plane, which of course is interesting for me as a former aerialist and now circus director, where a lot of my world is seen from either above or below, and exploring that horizontal plane. Also, I like that it sort of refers to the forced passivity of womanhood. Of seeing, how you can see the world from this position of passivity, and also having been someone who literally flew through the air, and also had a life because of that flew across countries and in different cities all the time, touring, et cetera, that having a life that had so much motion and flight in the literal sense, to one that now there's, stasis and a lack of mobility, and maybe one day much more lack of mobility, and having that contrast between a life that was just so full of flight and things just moving so quickly and airborne, and one that is more confined and motionless, and yet when the mind is still just as much in flight. So that's sort of the general concept. There are certain other themes through it. The sort of notion, I play a lot with the songs called I Want You, various songs from, that you love, especially when you're a teenager, about yearning and realizing that the evolution of the I Want You, of whether it's romantic love, to wanting to have a child, to wanting to fly through the air and be a great trapeze artist, to then literally wanting life, and the I Want You song becoming more an ode to life itself, and just wanting to be able to hold on to life. And so that's a little bit of a theme and arc in the show as well. Often when you memoir, it feels like just a memoir is enough of a reason to create something. However, I want to feel what is particularly pertinent. It's just not me just telling my story. So I feel like a lot of themes of fear and courage came up. The chosen fear, in terms of doing a line of work that where you risk your life on a daily basis, and having to learn how to navigate and manage fear as your profession, and to muster courage on the daily, the nightly.
Hips was rough, our shoulders catch.
And that compared to later in life, when you have imposed fear, where you have, certain, as I said, health conditions, et cetera, that require courage, and to what extent do you tap into that same courage learned through a profession that required it. So that's a little bit of an underlying theme as well. And as usual, the beauty of being able to fly through the air.